You're like,
yay! We're live. Hey, Vanessa.
hello, Dr. Keith. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am doing wonderful. So before we get into this amazing interview tonight, we're going to give people an opportunity to come on in. So you guys, welcome to this set interview. Is going to be amazing because we have none other than Vanessa Cole in the building. I don't even want to tell you about her yet because I don't want anybody to miss out on all the good stuff. But just know we have Vanessa Cole in the building. She is the epitome of a boss chick. And you definitely want to tune in and listen to everything that she has to say. Like she literally, I didn't even tell her just how inspired I am by her, but now I'm telling her now. But I'm really inspired by her and just her hustle, her drive, her work ethic, and her love for her children. Just so many things. So you guys definitely don't want to miss this. So we're going to give you guys an opportunity to come on in. Are you excited, Vanessa?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. I love this stuff. I live for this stuff.
Ooh, I like that. That's what I'm talking about. She's like, I live for this. She's like, let's go. Yes. I love it. So where are you based right now while we're doing this interview?
Sure. So right now I'm in Sugarland. Hey, Candy. Who's Candy?
Sugarland. Hey, Cat. All right now. Well, let's see who's in the building.
Yes.
Hey, Patty. Hi. Welcome, welcome. So tell your friends to come in because it's going to be good. And if you guys see my other interviews, I love to talk to women and empower you guys. So it's going to be amazing. So, Caddy, go ahead and invite your friends to come on in and join in on this interview.
Called her Candy.
Huh?
I think I said, hey, Candy.
Oh, I know. It did kind of look like it. If we just put an N in there, it would have been Candy.
I'm like, blame the vision.
So, Caddy, we have a new name for you now. Caddy, Vanessa has called you. You're also Candy, too. So I'm in Jamaica. She's from Jamaica.
Ah, nice. I love Jamaica.
Yes. What part of Jamaica, Caddy? Let us know. Tell your Jamaican peeps to tune on in, too. Share it with them. I love that. Yes. So it shows we have 2 people are in. So if you guys are in, I want you to make yourselves at home. So what that means is get away from your kids because that's what we did. We ran. we ran away from our children so that we could relax and enjoy this interview. So get away from your kids, turn the TV off, get comfortable, take your shoes off, get something to drink, just relax and get ready to be empowered and to be encouraged just as a woman. All right? Okay. Portmore, Sunshine City. Okay, and she's inviting all her friends. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Caddy. Awesome. Yes.
That is on the team.
Right? So what's one thing you're looking forward to sharing tonight? Just a little preview.
Yeah, hopefully I can plant a few seeds based on my story that could just inspire somebody to take action, right? Because that's what it's all about. I always tell people you need a mix of inspirational and instructional advice. The inspiration to spark and ignite that fire, and then some instructional advice to make you take action, right? Because it was just a lot of us, we hold all these dreams and these aspirations, but until you actually start taking action, and believe that you can do it, what is it? It's just a dead dream. So
I tell them, I say ideas don't cut checks. Okay.
Exactly. So hopefully, we could, all walk away with a new level of empowerment. And that's why I said I live for this stuff. It's all about like-minded individuals coming together, embracing the synergy, and us walking away feeling good, empowered, inspired, and going to the next level, because that's what I'm about.
Yes, next level. You guys hear that? Going to the next level. So we have some more people. So Stacy came in. So hey, Stacy, welcome, welcome. Yes. So invite your friend Stacy. Come on in. And then Vanessa, you want to say hi to this lovely lady?
Yes. Hey, Nicole.
Yes. Hi, my love.
I like you got 2 Coles. Vanessa,
hey.
Nicole Cole.
That's right. We got some cold action going on here. Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. So whoever's in here, we're like saving all the good stuff. So please share this interview on your page right now. So if any of your friends see it, they can watch it as well straight from your page. And then also, if you can invite your friends to tune in as well, that would be amazing, because the whole goal is literally to encourage you. Like, that's why we're doing it tonight. We have no other ulterior motive, like Vanessa was saying, except to simply encourage you. Like, she got a family. I just met them and they're stinking adorable. And she locked them away so that she could encourage all of you right now tonight. So definitely come on in. So it shows we have about 6 people, maybe more, that are tuned in. So we'll give you guys like a couple minutes and we will get started. Yes. So, Vanessa, were you always an entrepreneur? Had that spirit? Because we're going to talk about that.
Always. I used to say a rebel at heart, and then I got away from the rebel term. But I've always been in like leadership positions. I always say since my sandbox days. And I always knew that there was more in me and for me that I was destined to become. So I could say that. Didn't know if it was entrepreneurial, didn't know if it was just leadership, didn't know if it was exec, didn't know, but I just knew I was always like, I want more for my life.
Yes.
You know? And so, but then that turned into me starting my own business and managing a firm, and we'll get into those details.
Yes.
Later.
Yes. All right. So we're going to get into it. I'm just excited. I'm like, we trying to skirt around it, giving you guys time to come on in, but some of you just going to have to catch the replay. That's what it sounds like. Y'all just have to get the replay. You're going to miss out. So Vanessa, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Let's do this. So you guys, what I really admire so much about Vanessa is, like she was sharing, it's just her heart to be a better woman, and not only for herself, but so that she can help other women to be better as well and just leave this legacy for her family. So if some of you are not familiar with Vanessa Cole, she is right now, some of you probably have seen it. If you're like me, I got my little vice and I like my reality shows. I can't help it. So right now she's currently on WAGS Miami that you can catch on the E Network. She's also the partner of Mike Wallace, who is a big time NFL wide receiver player for the Baltimore Ravens. And then on top of that, she has 2 amazing children and has her own business. Yes, 2, right? 2 of them. And you look at her and you're like, where? She's like, right here, right here. And just definitely somebody that you guys can look up to, as far as just someone who is so focused on her family and so focused on going after her goals and having her own business. And I'm going to give her an opportunity to share about her business tonight, so that all of you can understand, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, that you can definitely go after it. So the biggest thing I want you guys to understand before we even start is, Vanessa, how old are you?
Yes. Well, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you, and thank you to Set Media for doing this, having this kind of platform in which we can empower each other, inspire one another, and help take one another to the next level. So appreciate you for that. Yeah. And I'm 27. 27.
Did you guys hear that? Like, can y'all let that marinate? She is going to talk about her business later, but she has a successful construction real estate business, just amazing. And she'll go into detail about that and everything that she's accomplished, only 27. So that puts her in the mark of a millennial. And a lot of times, a lot of people can discredit millennials and what you can do. So if I have any young, vibrant women who are watching this interview tonight, I want to encourage you that age ain't, what Aaliyah say, age ain't nothing but a number. That's it. That's all it is. It is literally just a number. So don't let age ever stop you from doing whatever it is that you want to do, because Vanessa Cole right here, as you've seen on TV, having her own business, taking care of her family, 27 years old. Yes. So she's like, she's like, yeah, that's me. Oh, somebody said, awesome. Congrats. Yes.
See? Oh, I love that photo.
Right? And she's adorable too. She's adorable. So we first want to start with just your relationship to a high profile NFL player.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, how did you guys even meet?
So Mike and I met when we were in college. It was both towards the end of our college career. I didn't finish. Actually, he didn't finish either, but anywho, that's a different story. I was living in Dallas at the time, doing some contract works for this new venue that opened, and he literally followed me around the club, I guess you could say, and he wouldn't let me go.
All right now. Okay, Mike, I see you. Yes. So she is the partner of Mike Wallace, wide receiver, like I told you guys, for the Baltimore Ravens. So it was kind of like, well, I guess for him, more of a love at first sight. So what did you think when he was pursuing you so hard? Was it love at first sight for you?
Yeah, well, he had on a hat. And so I'm always been that if you meet somebody with a hat on, you need to make sure they take it off first before you walk away. And so I couldn't see him. It was dark and he had on a hat. But, and honestly, once we started talking and getting to know one another, we didn't even have like your typical like interrogation, what do you do? What are your goals? What is this? What is that? How are you set up? It was just kind of casual, just kind of friends. And next thing you know, he was like, "Hey, I love you." And I was like, "Oh, I love you too."
Oh, so you're saying he said it first? Is that what you're saying? He said it first? I love how people share their stories. They're like, well, he told me that he loved me.
Well, the text message, I don't know. I just remember saying no love to him. And then he responded back and he was like, "I do love you." And then that was the first time. And so we'll be going on 9 years this December.
Wow. Give it up. 9 years. Yes, 9 years and 2 beautiful children later. And so we're going to get into that family aspect. But a lot of women on here, because I'll also do sometimes like relationship coaching as well. And when it comes to love, that's like a sore spot a lot of times for women. So I can only imagine for you, in the beginning, he wasn't in the NFL, but being with someone who ended up being in such a high profile position, what were some challenges that you faced? Because even though they don't have maybe an athlete or a husband or a partner, they still face those same challenges.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to your own self-confidence and how you value yourself. So I did just a little bit. I kind of went down that path of, oh my God, what is he doing when he's out? Or, but then you kind of like, you have to snap back into reality. And it's like, you know what? I'm a great woman. I have a lot to offer. I do all the things that's expected of me. I'm not perfect, but I'm committed to being that ultimate woman, that Proverbs 31 woman.
Come on now. Yes.
And that's all you can do. All you can do is put your best foot forward. And if your partner sees that and values that and appreciates that, then, you keep moving forward. But if you're going through something in which, you're verbally abused or emotionally abused, physically, to where it's just, you've tried everything, then, it's something to maybe consider parting ways. But I've never experienced that with him, and he's always just been a great guy, supportive, and we're totally different people.
Right, talking about that too. Yeah,
we're just totally different. But however, there's like this little magnet that just draws us together and keeps the union close. And so we're both ambitious. We both are committed to excellence and always putting our best foot forward. He's ambitious on the field. I'm ambitious at work. And then we pour that into our kids.
Right.
Always like put your best foot forward. Always operate in excellence. Always give it your best. Shine bright. Be confident. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
That's all they need.
Yes, I'm encouraged. You got me encouraged. I'm pumped up. I'm like, yes, Keita, be your best.
That's
Do
right.
whatever it is that you want to do. I love it. And so, as far as like the relationship aspect, I know it because I've been married now almost 10 years. And as much as I love him and he's my best friend, we've had rocky moments, you
Sure.
know. Was there a time where it's like, even though you love him so much, where you thought about, I'm done, I'm ready to call it quits?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Everyone goes through that, for the most part. I can't speak for everyone. And so, yeah, there were conversations that I've had to myself, and I would call my mom, and I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, you know what? I went through some things with your dad. My parents are still together.
Hmm.
And she was like, it took him 20 years, Vanessa, to mature. 20 years. I'm like, Mom, I don't have 20 years.
Okay. You see, I'm like, whoo, Lord, 20 years.
Right.
I get it. I get what she's saying, though.
And and then I would also, I'm big on seeking mentorship as well. So, seeking someone like yourself who gives relationship advice. And one of my mentors, they told me, they were like, you know what, instead of focusing on all the things that he's not doing right or that he's lacking, why don't you appreciate and focus and value him for what he does do right? Let's start
good.
there.
That's good.
And so then I started doing that. So and it's hard. It was so hard, especially when you're in that space of like, I'm done, I'm fed up, for whatever reason. But I had to calm down. I had to seek mental clarity, and I had to say, you know what? And I had to write out, what are all the things that I do enjoy about this man? What are all the things that this man has done for me?
That reminds me, what was that movie, that Tyler Perry movie? And one of them had to do that. It was with Janet Jackson. If anybody on here remembers that movie, remember it was like the couples trip.
Oh, Why Should I Get Married Too?
Yeah. And that was one of the advice that, because Janet Jackson, in the movie, she was like a psychologist, and she told one of her friends to do that, to write that list.
Oh, okay.
And if most of the things that you write were great things that you love about your mate, then that lets you know like it's worth fighting for, Yeah. And so that reminded me of that, because sometimes we need to remember. And I know God talks about that a lot in the Bible, like remember, because it's easy to forget.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and this is one of my old mentors told me this, people don't value you based on what they did. What was it? People don't value you based on what you did for them. They value you based on what you can do for them. Mm-hmm. Meaning all the stuff that I did for you, every time I bent my back, all the things that I've just committed to your needs, you forgot all about that. But you value me based on what I can do for you. So now this relationship is just all about expectations.
Right.
What I'm expecting of you. This is how I'm expecting you to be. This is how I'm expecting you to act. This is how I'm expecting you to love me. And that's not what it's about. It's about committing to somebody's needs without expectations. That's what love is. And so that's what I focus on. And it's not easy, but you have to always reprogram your mind and like, Vanessa, don't go down that state of lack and negativity, because you already know that doesn't serve you.
Right.
Get in this space of love and appreciation and value. And yeah, everything is not perfect, but that's okay, because I'm happy, right? And this is somebody who truly loves and cares for me.
Right.
So, yeah.
Come on now. Thank you. That was good. And so I know from a lot of women that I talk to, cheating is also a big deal. Yes. And I've seen situations where there was infidelity and they decided, you know what, I'm not going to be with this person anymore. But then I've also seen situations where there was infidelity and they said, you know what, we're willing to work through it. Have you dealt with any of that in your relationship?
Right. And so even too, like with the show, for those that watched, where that was kind of brought up of him cheating and all this stuff, I can make it clear that I've never, ever, caught anything. And that's with my bare eyes. Right. And so it's not to say that something may not have happened behind closed doors or behind my back. But I don't know. Right. And so only thing that I do know is that he's loved and respect me from what I've seen. And and know your deal breakers, right?
That's a good point. Very good point, Lynn. Thank you for that.
And that's a conversation, that you have too, because, and even when I talk I have a really close relationship with my dad, and it's one thing that he always told me. He was like, Vanessa, some men, maybe him included, just have like this animal instinct, and so meaning that they kind of like to, see what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that that's right. Right. And so I had to learn, and I guess just be receptive to growing with somebody, and that, hey, this person may make mistakes. I may make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
Right.
As far as cheating wise, it is something that I'm like, don't disrespect me. However, I can't control it. But if something ever happens, I'll definitely, cross that bridge, and
we'll deal with that if it does happen. Yeah. But I love what Lynn shared about knowing your deal breakers, and I love what you shared about commitment. And there's something you said that was really key: growing with that person.
Yeah, and you have to be careful too. So one thing too, I'll add to that I learned is to be mindful of when you share your problems with your friends, or share your challenge of your relationship with your friends, because now they have this image of who he is, or who they think he is.
Yes. I learned that honestly with my mother.
Yeah.
Because my mom and I are so close. I don't know if she's on here. Hey, mama. But I learned that with my mom. I would tell her something. I'm the only child. And so she was very protective. Oh my gosh. Do we talk about that? I don't know. No. Oh my gosh. So because I'm the only child, we're like super close. And my father passed away when I was younger, but I would tell her things going on in my marriage, even just little disagreements, nothing big. But I noticed that I would forget to tell her that we resolved it. Mm-hmm. And so she would keep track of score. And I'm like, we're way past that. And she still got that in her head. And so I learned, even with family members, that you have to be very careful what you share with people. Mm-hmm. It has to be only with people that can help you and help get you out of that situation and give you key sound advice. You have to be wise.
And I think that's what Caddy had even said too. She just posted, she said, run and tell the Lord. And they said that in church too. They said, you know what? They said, instead of you running to all your friends, why don't you run to God?
Yes.
Yes. So it's so true, because the thing that we have to remember is that we'll start to get caught up in that story, and then she starts telling you about this dude and then that dude, and so now y'all are just going further down.
Right.
It's not like 9 times out of 10 that's the conversation, but it's just one of those things that just be mindful of who you share stuff with.
Yes, and that's all around being careful. Even with your dreams, everything, like you just have to be careful who you share things with.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so true. And so with that, you are extremely ambitious, like off the charts, which is what I want us to talk about. And what I think is so amazing with you is, I don't know, I'm just going to be honest with you, there's a stigma when it comes to women who date high profile athletes. There's this stigma, like, some people would say, oh, they're gold diggers. Some people say, basically they just want to mooch off of them. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to have anything of their own. It's just his money's my money. That's it. How many babies can I pop out? Just that whole.
It's real.
Huh?
It's real life.
Yeah, right. And so with you though, you're not like that. And so take us into that journey. What made you really be set on wanting to have something of your own, and then tell us what that is?
Yeah. Since day one, I've just always been a go-getter. I mean, I've always liked to have my own. I've always liked to go above and beyond expectations. So when I met another ambitious person, it was just fuel to the fire, because the way he was going after things in his career pushed me. And so I don't know, I just never been the type that was like, you know what, I'm gonna put my feet up and I'm gonna relax. And I was like, look, while you running and you grinding, I'm gonna run and I'm gonna grind too. So once you retire, I'm gonna retire. We're both 30 something and we're chilling.
Nice. You know? And then call me since y'all retired.
Exactly. So that was the ultimate goal. But you know, I think that's something that's just innate in certain people. And I had a really great upbringing as well. My mom, I always watched her. She was an early riser, up at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, going to work, and very successful woman. And my dad the same. So that helps, you know, but even if you didn't have that, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
We'll talk about that later. So with all that being said, what I do is full time. I manage a real estate firm. I oversee 40 agents. We do a lot of investment based property.
Did you guys hear that? She's 27 years old, and she has her own real estate firm where
I manage this firm.
Oh, manage her own, a firm that she manages over 40 employees at the age of 27. I just had to throw that out there again. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are way older than me, but and then I started my new construction company last year. And so I was offered an opportunity where I could come in and start my company as a builder. And I'm partnered with the city of Houston for an affordable housing project.
Wow.
So right now I'm currently building 10 homes in Houston. And my goal is 500 homes in 5 years. That's the goal.
I love it. And I don't have any doubt in my mind that you're not going to reach that goal and surpass it.
I mean, it's all here. And then as soon as everybody gets past this, right, and exactly, praise God, because once you, it's like Oprah said in an interview. She said, I stopped, what did she say? I stopped depending on myself. And I started depending on God, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you start, and I shared this with you, and we had briefly spoken on the phone. I said I call for supernatural favor every day. I say, Lord, thank you. I start off in gratitude, and then I get into forgiveness. I say, Lord, please forgive all the people that I've hurt consciously or unconsciously. I forgive those who hurt me consciously or unconsciously. And Lord, I'm calling for your supernatural favor over my life, because I don't know how I'm going to get there exactly and how I'm going to accomplish everything. But I know that if you planted this seed within me, right, this vision, because that's what the Bible says, that I can accomplish it.
Yes.
So walk by faith and not by sight, right? And faith without works. I mean, what is it?
Faith without deeds is dead.
Exactly. And so I live by that. And then I read a lot. I listen to a lot of different books on business and the mindset, and I study successful people. And you start to just pick out all the traits, and you see like they just believe in themselves. They have confidence.
You have to.
They'll walk in a room and they're like, look, y'all, I don't know how I'm going to build homes because I've never even picked up a hammer and built a home. However, I'm smart enough to seek mentorship, right? To seek people who have built homes. And then I reached out to a bunch of builders. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for some mentors, and I can be of value to you. I asked references of people who they could refer me to that had a building business, and I picked their brain. I was like, how did you get started? How did you set it up? You know, what does your entity look like? And questions that they were probably like, what are you asking? You know?
but you did your research. Yes.
Yeah. And there's so many books. I mean, we live in an information age. And so that's why I try to pour into other people around me too. Like, you can Google the top builders, how to start your own building company, how to start your own boutique, how to be a dominant speaker, how to write a best-selling book. You'll find so many articles, right? And
Yeah.
then you start seeking real life mentors in your area. And so, yeah, and I just go in, I tell them straight up, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to do the work.
That's it. And that's what
I'm
matters.
to do the work. I don't care how late I got to stay up. I don't care how early I have to get up. I don't care if I have to take you to breakfast every day. I don't care if I have to send you lunch every day. Whatever I have to do, rub your feet.
Yes.
If you're willing to, if you can pour into me little nuggets, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. But that's the mentality that you have to have. And you have to go in with, like, I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what you say about me. I'm going to get it done.
I love it. And I love what Lynn just shared. You have to be willing to do the work. And I always tell people as a coach that the only limit that you place upon yourself that's really there is what you put on yourself. That's it. That's the only limit that's real. Nothing else is real.
Yes.
So if you feel like there's a limit, it's literally because you place that limit upon yourself. That's the only ceiling that's there, is the one that you put. That's it. And so I love what you're saying. There's no excuse. There's no excuse not to be your best. Mm-hmm. And I love what you're saying, especially as women right now, that's a big thing, making sure we're fighting for equal pay, making sure our voices are heard. But at the end of the day, there's no excuse for us to not push out our purpose.
Yes.
You know? And that's exactly what you're doing.
Well, I know too that it's like we keep saying that first and foremost, God he has to be in your life, has to.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody who had a failed business prior to this one because God wasn't the forefront of my life.
Mm.
And then secondly is your belief. But the issue is that with a lot of us, minorities, women, middle class, lower class, we subconsciously, right? People refer to your subconscious mind, right? You have a conscious mind, subconscious mind. They refer to the subconscious as like a hard drive, right? As like a computer. So you have all that memory stored of your past failures, past experiences, who hurt you, all the negative, And so you have to get on a path of reprogramming your subconscious for all positivity, all good works, all God-fearing, all the great stuff that you need.
Right.
That way, if something were to happen, right, a challenge was to come up, or somebody shuts a door in your face, or something didn't go according to plan, you can quickly say, oh, but guess what? God has a plan. I'm resilient, right? I'm gonna keep moving. And my mentor always tells me this. He's like, Vanessa, contrast is good. Challenges are good. It's usually meaning that you need to learn a lesson,
right,
or you're being redirected to something better.
Exactly.
So when my last company folded and I'm dealing with lawsuits and people threatening me and this and that, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm a really good person. How'd I get here? You know? But I had to be redirected to shut down that company because that wasn't for me, to lead me into this affordable housing project in which I'm able to change the trajectory of underserved communities for the better. You know, I'm able to pour into them. I'm able to educate them on a home buying process and having a home ownership of longevity. And I'm able to implement modern technology into their affordable home, because typically somebody who's doing an affordable product is just going to throw a house there and then goodbye. And I was like, no, I really want to change this community.
Right. And I can see the passion. I love it. And so hopefully you guys can understand that a closed door, I see it, it's still an open door. Because it closed for a reason. And I always tell people, like, a no, it just leads you to your greater yes. Yeah. That's simply all that it is. So a no is still a blessing. The same way we get excited when we get that yes or that contract goes through. Right. A no, right? We get so excited. It's the same thing when we receive a no. We have to reprogram and retrain our brain to say, you know what? I need to be equally excited, because that's God preparing me and steering me in the right direction for greater. He said no for a reason. So I love that. And so how long have you now been in this particular business?
Yeah, so real estate, I've been in real estate since I was 21, 27 now. And so my building company, I had started that the end of 2015. And so I'm finally breaking ground 2017. So it takes time.
And see, and I want you to touch on that. And I was talking to a friend today actually about that. We're in a culture now where being an entrepreneur, it's very sexy. It's very sexy. It's the in thing. It's trendy. It's cool to say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. It's amazing how that's happened. It really is the new fad and the new trend to say, oh, what are you? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own business.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, right. And so what I don't think people understand is they see entrepreneurship as something that is so glamorous.
Yeah.
The lights, the Instagram pictures and Facebook and people traveling here and traveling there and booking this deal. And I really don't think people understand the toughness, the grit, the grind, the hardship, the trials that occur with entrepreneurship. So if you could share with us, what's the hardest thing for you when it comes to entrepreneurship?
Yeah, well, I would say this in the beginning, it was, okay, so you mean I don't have to clock in? So what should I be doing? So then you kind of get caught up a little bit in sometimes doing all of the wrong tasks. In the beginning. And that's what I found myself. And so that's why it is important to go to like different entrepreneurial trainings, like reading on books about entrepreneurship. I can show you, this is my planner. And I'm so meticulous with everything. And it's called an achievement planner. And so daily I write down my vision statements, and then I have everything planned for the month, my 8:15 a.m., my prayer call, 8:25, it's my lead follow-ups.
Love it. Love it.
My mission statement, my personal initiatives to focus on this month. And then it'll get into, okay, like what is the daily task, right? And so I had to learn that, okay, hey, as a business owner, you need to be focused on what's going to produce the income, right? And
so they say that focus on your lowest hanging fruit. What is that you can capitalize on? Yes,
exactly. Because in the beginning, it was, oh, let me my business cards gotta look super glamorous. Close the deal first.
Hello,
close the deal. And
I can tell you are passionate about that. Your neck went to the side like this. Close the deal.
I'm like, close the deal. And that was the advice that was given to me. It was like, look, Vanessa, you're getting caught up into all this pretty stuff. And I get it as a millennial, the social media hype, all of these things. He was like, but you got to have some success under your belt. So very successful VP of a firm. And he was like, which means you need to get out there and do some business. You need to learn how to a property from contract to close and give that client the best customer service that they've ever had. And so I was like, okay, let me back up, let me retract. And I got to work. My battery is low. Let me but keep going. I'm going.
Okay, and so we had Caddy here. She's like, it's hard. It takes a lot of work and sacrifice. She's got tears right now. She just started her business, and it was a lot harder than having a 9-to-5. So it was a lot harder than what she expected.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, you're used to that schedule. You're used to that schedule of clocking in and somebody giving you instructions and directions and holding you accountable. But as an entrepreneur, you don't. It's you. It's all on you, and that's why accountability part. That's what I'm saying. All these things are important. Accountability partners, business books, mentors. I mean, and don't
take notes. Do you have somebody holding you accountable? Look, we got some newbies on here. All right, Tracy. So take notes with what Vanessa's telling you. She's got the planner. She's got someone holding her accountable. She's making sure she's going to the conferences to learn what books are you reading, and don't get caught up in the glitz and glam. Literally get out there in the field and start putting all that knowledge and stuff to the test. Get out there and work it. Yes.
Because all that will come. You know, I think it's a difference between marketing and branding, right? And so I tell people branding comes later. Branding comes now that you made it or close to making it. Marketing, yes. But it doesn't have to be also super fancy. Like I don't spend too much time creating flyers and stuff. Outsource.
No, you're good.
Okay, I can hear myself. Let me put my headphones.
Okay. We got her back up. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this right now. It's not too late. Share this with your friends. Share it on your timeline so everybody can get this knowledge. Because I told you, y'all thought I was playing. Vanessa's dropping major nuggets right now. So that's why we're interviewing her tonight, because we knew that she had so much to share with all of you. So please go ahead and still share this on your page as well. Really good. Got your headphones in.
Does it sound okay?
Yeah, for us, you're fine. You're good.
Okay, let me say hello. I don't know what it's started.
I know. Did your volume change at all?
No, I'm just hearing myself. Okay. I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And so with all this, ladies, hopefully you guys, oh, they said it was echoing. Is it still echoing, you guys? Let us know.
Yeah. How is it now? I don't hear it now.
I don't hear it either. Okay.
Sounds cranky.
That reminds me of a kid. Sounds cranky. They said it's better. They said it's better now. Woo woo!
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Another thing too is money management. It's important. And I had to, especially like in real estate, where you make a lot of big commissions, and I was really bad in my second year. I made a lot of money and I blew through it all. And and then when it came time for me to do my taxes, my CPA was like, okay, hey, now you owe this to the IRS. I was like, well, wait, how am I supposed to pay them? I spent it all, And so then I had to learn to really be a good steward of my money.
Yes.
Abe Ramsey has a great program, Financial Peace University, and he's teaching you great money principles based on biblical principles. Yeah, so you're not trying to blow through your money. And so I have like a budget book, and then for each check that I get, I break it down. And so I'll put 10% to tithe. First and foremost, you got to tithe. You have to give the Lord 10%, And so to each his own, but anywho, that's what I do. My 15% to savings. I go 25% to taxes, 35% to my bills and life. I do 8% to reinvest back in my business and 7% to self. So self is my hair, nails, things of that nature. But every check that I get, I break it down just like that. And you do it based on, your situation, right? And so you may not be able to put 15% into savings. You may have to put 7% into savings. But I add that percentage in there to reinvest back into my business, because that'll go into like marketing or supplies. Because the problem with entrepreneurs too is that, especially newbies, is that as soon as you get some money or you make a sale, you throw all that money back into, whatever, and then you left no cushion to do other things.
Exactly. But one other thing that I hear that I want you guys to understand that Vanessa is sharing, she is very disciplined. So what I've learned as a coach is that you can have every planner in the book. You can have every book. You could have attended every conference. But if you do not work on your character and become more disciplined, I don't care how many books you have. I don't care how many conferences you have attended. You will not see results unless you're willing to be uncomfortable, because being disciplined equals being uncomfortable. And so I just want to make sure you guys understand that. One of the biggest characteristics that I just absolutely love about Vanessa tonight is that she's not just showing you things. She's actually showing you what she's doing.
Right.
Okay?
This book, Oh wait, I haven't even wrote in it. No, no.
Right. Yeah. But And thank you, Lynn, for your honesty. We've all been there before. We get so excited. We see this new latest thing that's going to help us in our business or in relationships, this new book, this new conference, this and that. And we forget that first and foremost, we got to check our character and make sure, are we disciplined? Yeah. Are we disciplined? Are we going to be committed when you don't feel like getting up early? To pray, or you don't feel like networking that day, or you don't, whatever it is, you have to be disciplined and you have to stick to it. And so I truly commend you, Vanessa, again, 27, millennial, woo woo, and just how disciplined she is, which brings me into another aspect of her life. We talked about this, was the work-life balance piece. Vanessa has this huge business, and she's also a mother to 2 small children. I just talked to them tonight. What was your daughter's 7?
6 and 2.
6 and 2. And so the 6-year-old's going on like 16. I had like the most amazing conversation with her on the phone. She was like, anything that you need to know about my mother, you can just come and talk to me. She did. I kid you not, you guys. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And I really got information from her. I found out her middle name. It was great. It was great.
Too much.
But I want Vanessa tonight, before we end, to really touch on, I like to call it managing your seasons, balance, because life is going to be different for all of us and it all depends on our season. But you're doing a remarkable job of managing the season that you're in. And I really want to talk to you, have you talk to the ladies tonight, because we got a lot of mothers that are on here, or women who aspire to be mothers. We have a lot of people who are in relationships, who are married, who are juggling, even if they're not an entrepreneur, they're juggling their career. And I know for me personally, I've gone through moments before where I felt guilty, like I'm not spending enough time with my children, I should be spending more, or I'm neglecting my business. So take us into your world, and what do you do to have a healthy balance managing the season that you're in?
Yeah, and healthy is relative, right? What may be healthy to one person may not be healthy to that person, but you just have to get clear for yourself, right? As to how do you want your life to look, right? That's why it's important to always write down your vision every morning. What is the vision that I have for my life, from my health, to my relationships, to my money, to my relationship with my kids, my lover, to how I want to be every day. How do I want my mood? It's important to write that down every day. And then, there will be sacrifices, and so, but it's how bad do you want it? So I don't go out and party on Fridays, Saturdays. I have to cut off my Sunday fun days. I miss those.
I miss my Sunday naps. I used to have my Sunday naps.
And so, every now and then, you can squeeze some in, but what I used to always be out on weekends, and, I used to live that life. We all was in some way or another, whether it's you watch too much TV or you go out, you're doing something that is typically unproductive if doing it too much. And so this season of my life, my why, and going back to failures and challenges, when my last business closed, I had to get up and do something, because I had to make up for that loss. I had to build my self-confidence back up. I had to provide for me and the family as well. And so what you do is, it's like, that's my why. My why is I got to get back on my A game. My why is that I'm a successful woman. My why. So literally every morning, my alarm goes off at 4:45, 5 a.m. Sometimes I do not want to wake up. I don't. But I have to immediately start like talking to myself in my head, where it's like, Vanessa, what's your why? What's your why? I love that. If you trying to go on vacation next month, if that just has to be the why for now.
Yes.
And sometimes I'll have to get on Pinterest, and I'll have to like look at, just beautiful sceneries or like boss woman, like a just whatever motivates you. Get that picture as well. And then it's like, all right, I'm up. Come on, let's get it. Let's tackle this day. I take a raw energy supplement. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I take some raw energy and then a few other herbal supplements in the morning. Drink my glass of water. I have a protein shake, and then we're taking the kids to school. And so while I'm taking them to school, we do a little praise and worship. We listen to some a self-educational or self-improvement audiobook. And then before they get out the car, we go over affirmations. We go over what their attitude is going to be like in school and when they walk through those doors, you know.
Okay. So your why helps you to be disciplined. That why is what keeps you going.
Yes. And look, we all fall short. Even where I am today, I can't say that there's not times where I'm like, you know, depending, because your goals increase and then you want more, you start striving for more. And I have I have like 2 accountability partners and I have 4 mentors. And so there are times when Vanessa has to call somebody.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know, or I listen to a sermon, you know, what did we say earlier? We run to God.
Yes.
And I seek mental clarity. And in the books, they help so much. They help so much. And I'll just say one book in particular, The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. Charles David Schwartz. Sorry.
I love it.
The Magic of Thinking Big. And so he talks a lot about this right here.
Yes. And I notice that every single ambitious, successful man or woman, they're very, very focused on the mind.
Yes.
You know, very, very focused on the mind. And so one of the things I noticed with women that messes up our mind is, we talked about this, that comparison trap, the comparison disease. And so how do you tackle that? Because for you, being a part of WAGS Miami on E and social media and everything, you've seen it firsthand how image is so important. And I've seen so many women that I've coached where they get so consumed with their self-image because they're comparing themselves to who they see on these reality shows or on social media. So what could you say to women to help them to truly love themselves while being bombarded with all these images that they see on TV?
Right. First and foremost, don't believe the hype. Because that's all it is. And here's what I went to school originally for video production. So you have to remember that that's entertainment. Social media is entertainment. The reality shows are entertainment. And so they're going to do everything that they can to fluff and give you the perfect image or the perfect setting. And then, but once that's off, oh, they're a hot mess. You know, and then this is not judging anyone.
Oh, look at the honesty. That's why I love the women on here today. Sade was like, I hate the comparison disease. I do too. I do too, love.
It's an act of self-destruction. And if we go back to what we talked about earlier in the video, it's knowing your value, right? And knowing yourself. And so when I see my friends, when they're moving and shaking on social media, I'm congratulating them and I'm supporting them. I'm high-fiving them. I'm like, girl, get it, run, market yourself, you know, empower, women empowerment. And then, you know, I get back to doing what I need to do. Let me open up my planner. What am I supposed to be doing at 9 o'clock? Because if I'm spending an hour or 2 hours on social media, what does that equate to?
Right.
Me looking and scrolling and hitting likes is not equating to any dollars in my pocket.
Yes, come on now.
That's part of my business plan.
Hello, come on.
So unless somebody, you know, unless you like
Vanessa coming through tonight.
Unless you can pay, you getting paid to tweet.
Right.
You need to, you know, get on for. I mean, you literally have to time yourself sometimes.
Good point. And thank you for sharing practicals, because we're in a day and age, it's different than back in the day where social media is a part of us and it's not something that we have to feel bad about. But I love how you gave a practical example of what we can do to manage our time. Sometimes you have to time yourself like, hey, I'm going to take a 10-minute social media break right now. And then now I got to get back to cutting them checks.
Because I can't, like, I'm always looking at little fashion tips and stuff. And like I said, I like to support my friends on there, individuals such as yourself. Like, I like to look at little empowering stuff. And so it is important when you use it for the right reason. But start getting caught up in reading all of the gossip and the blah, 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 blah. Now you done got lost in the sauce, And,
yeah, right? And you're like, wait a minute, I gotta get out.
And now then you start going to somebody else's timeline. It's just like, bro, now you've wasted 2 hours for nothing.
So tell us before we close, because you talk about self-love a lot. And I think that's the root of loving yourself, valuing yourself, which in return, you'll attract the right partner. It'll help you in business. So was there a time where that was extremely hard for you to do as far as like loving yourself? And then what did you do to get yourself out of that?
Yeah. I think in some point of your life, you can get lost in maybe someone else's life or caught up in something else. But I think when you stay on a continuous self-development track, a self-development journey, and like I said, I'm disciplined. This church, Bible study every Wednesday, church every Sunday. I watch about 2 to 3 sermons a week, if not more, because 2 times is just not enough for me.
So how did you get there though? Because I know for me, because I got a story, child. That's something else. But I know for me, I wasn't always going to church. I wasn't always praying and reading the self-help books and reading my Bible when I needed to. I had some low moments, smoking, drinking, hanging out with men that I knew weren't loving me and accepting me for who I was. And so for you, like, what were those moments for you? And how did you get out of that into where you are today?
Right. Well, we have that guiding light, right? That intuition. We know in that moment if we should be in this space or not. But we'll make up the stories of, well, I'm vulnerable and I'm lonely and I just kind of want to entertain this kind of thing. But it then goes back to your why. Like, what's your purpose?
Yes.
What is your purpose? And then, and if you know your purpose and you're clear as to the direction that you're headed in life, you start evaluating everything and everybody. And if they're not lining up on that journey, then they're getting removed.
Hello, making cuts.
Making cuts one by one. And in a cordial way. I didn't call up everybody and I was like, all right, y'all, don't call me ever again in your life. But I just started when I can't explain when the vision pulls you, the vision pulls you.
You guys hear that? When that vision pulls you, it will. So that means stay in tune to that, you guys, your passions, your pursuits, and let that guide you. Don't be scared to step out on faith and allow that to guide you. And so to close, I mean, this is so good. I feel like it's just like 2 girlfriends just chatting it up. And hopefully tonight that's how you guys felt. That's the whole goal of Set Magazine, is for you to be able to talk to these phenomenal men and women and just feel like you're sitting right there in the home with them, just lounging, just kind of talking, and so that's what we're doing tonight. But this last one was, I love what Lynn shared. Mothers struggle with putting themselves first.
Yes.
And I definitely can relate to that. Have you felt like that before? Like,
Yeah, you know what? I did not. So maybe I'm more of like a little selfish one, but I didn't struggle with putting myself first. But what I did struggle with is that balance, just that counterbalance, because we have such a supportive family that's so hands-on that I never felt like, my kids were deprived or lacking in any way. However, I felt the guilt of, am I doing enough? Because you go so hard in business and you're here, but are you doing enough for the kids? And there's a great book by Sheryl Sandberg, the COO of Facebook.
Yes.
Lean In.
I love that book.
And it's these kind of settings as well, right? Being a part of these kind of settings with like-minded individuals and sharing nuggets as, okay, what's working for you, and what's some insight. And so, I didn't struggle with putting myself first, but I struggled in balancing, just kind of being there, being more for them because I am so ambitious. But now, I mean, my daughters and I, we have a great relationship, and we just, I just pour into them. I'm just planting little seeds of wisdom, and just planting seeds of confidence, and just telling them, like, whatever interests you have and whatever desires, whatever sparks that enthusiasm, let's pursue that.
Yes. And I love what you shared about pursue it and get the support that you need, whether it's family, friends, people from church, because I know I've seen it. I've dealt with it. I've seen other mothers who have gone through it. We feel like we've got to be this fictitious superwoman and we got to handle everything ourselves. And it's like, throw the damn cape away, throw it off, take it off. Yeah. We don't need to be that. If you know you have support, go after it. Even tonight, you guys, we were talking about this. My home is like a zoo right now with my husband and 2 kids. And so I'm at my friend's house doing the interview. Support.
I have to lock everybody up upstairs. They were a little frustrated, but these kind of settings are important.
Yes.
If we don't do more of coming together and doing the necessary work, because you have to take time for yourself. You have to seek advice. You have to read the books. You have to just stay on getting the right information so you can become a better you. And so when you're a better you, you're going to be a better, you're going to be better for them because they're a reflection of you.
Yes. Yes.
So if you're always scrambling and you're unorganized and you're frustrated and you're angry, like that's what you're giving off to them. You're unhappy. That's what you're giving off to them. Exactly. But if you're in your books, you have your planner, you already know that you time block out. Hey, after 5 p.m., it's my kiddos.
Right.
We got to do homework. We have to read. We got to do baths. You know what I'm saying? We got to pour into each other. We have to talk about our day. We have to have some fun time, silly time.
I love it. Don't you guys just love Vanessa, you guys? This was amazing tonight. And I love it because, like I told you, sometimes when it comes to these reality shows or seeing people on social media, on TV, like we said, they do a great job of painting this picture that they want us to see. And they don't see that you are a real woman with real day-to-day issues, real boss chick, real life, real family. This is real. And so, Set Magazine wanted to give you just a sneak peek into the lives of women like Vanessa, that even though, her partner plays in the NFL and even though she was on WAGs Miami on TV, at the end of the day, she's just like us.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what people need to remember.
Yes.
Don't believe the hype. Please don't believe the hype.
Yes.
We all have flaws and everybody has their own challenges. And I think Sierra just posted, what about moms who don't have support? It's just them and their kids. There's so many women support groups out there. Church.
Yes.
Get a good church home. There's so many people. I was even just telling this to somebody. I was like, I want to mentor some kids, some kids who are really needing it, maybe give that mom a break for a weekend or, a few weekends out the month, let them, somebody like you, Sierra, pursue your dreams or get focused, get the training, but there's so many support groups and there's so many books on how to, get through that because it's all mental. It's all mental. And I'll leave you with this. When you write down your vision every day and you say, hey, I know I may not be in the ideal space of my life, but here's what I want for my life. Here's how I see my life.
Come on.
You start writing down, I have a nanny. a full-time nanny. You know, I have a successful business, and you may not believe it in that moment, but that's okay. You just have to start writing it down until you start seeing little glimpses of that coming to fruition.
Yes. Again, starting in the mind.
Yes, I'm telling you guys, it's so powerful. And then the more that you do it, you really see this is a game. It's a game. And when you master this, because here, guys, you got to start getting into the scientific side of it. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. And so when you have a thought, and I'm putting out there, I'm a successful businesswoman. I have a successful construction company. I built 500 homes in 5 years. I'm a prominent businesswoman. I'm the epitome of a mother. My children are A students. My children are positive. I have a lover who loves me. I have a good, kind, sweet home. You know, I have all these, but everything works out for me. Everything works out in my favor. When you start feeling that it's all energy, right? And so there's a vibratory frequency that's going on. And so the more that you put that out, that comes into your life.
Yes.
The same with negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Same with negativity. If I'm saying that nothing works out for me, and I don't have this, and I don't have that, and nobody cares, exactly, the law of attraction, that's what's going to keep showing up. Nothingness.
A whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing.
No, the magic of thinking big. The magic of thinking.
So let's do that before we close. Lead us in like 2 affirmations, like say something and we'll repeat it after you. So hopefully all of you, I can't hear you and I can't see you, but in your homes, I want you to repeat these affirmations with us. So say something and then we'll repeat it. And that's how we'll end this amazing night tonight.
Yeah. So let's say I'm a loving, kind and resilient woman.
I am a loving, kind, and resilient woman.
I'm a loving, kind, resilient woman. Everything works out for me.
Everything works out for me.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Vanessa Cole. So this is Vanessa Cole. If someone wants to follow you, get in contact with you, how can they go about doing that?
Yes, the Vanessa Cole on Instagram. And I believe my Facebook is The Real Vanessa Cole.
For real, honey.
Like there actually is a few of us.
I love it. So to close it out, everybody, I want you guys to know I am Dr. Keita Joy, your success coach, motivational speaker, and master trainer, and I am set.
Yes, and I'm Vanessa Cole, and I am set. Thank you, Dr. Keita Joy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, you guys. And even though the video is ending, you can still share it with all of your friends if you got so much goodness from it, okay? All right, see you later.
Enjoy y'all's energy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.